YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Canadian Retro. I have a collection update for you, just showing my Dreamcast collection. This is probably going to be the shortest collection video that I have, as I don't really have a whole lot of titles for it, but just like everything else in my collection that I've been showing lately, I'm showing everything. So despite the size of this particular part of my collection, I thought I'd show it to you anyway. So let's get started immediately. So basically, to find Sega Dreamcast stuff in my area is pretty hard to come by, especially on the thrift, or if you're looking at different Kijiji or Craigslist ads. It just doesn't pop up that often, and when it does, it's just really overpriced. Even super common games I've seen at retail stores, like retro retail stores, selling for, you know, $40 kind of thing, and they're not even good titles, like they're just sports titles. And I think these guys probably realize how hard it is to come by these titles. So everything I have here is a real treasured gem, even if it's pretty common in the real world. But in my area, it's definitely not a common thing to find. The first title here is Arrow Wings. This was one of the original titles that I picked up back in the day. My dad bought a Dreamcast for himself, and he was really into flight and pilots and things like that, so he bought this game as well. And then one I bought for him as well was this one here, Air Force Delta, another pilot type game, just because I knew he was into flying, and I kind of wanted to get him to get into video games a little bit. He's obviously from an older generation, so he didn't really get into video games that much, and even with this he found it kind of difficult. Never really got into them. And then a game that I wanted to get, so I picked it up off of eBay, was Centipede. I really liked this on the Dreamcast, or on the PlayStation 1 rather, so I picked it up on the Dreamcast, and it's really quite an underrated game, I think. Pretty fun. If you haven't played this, go check it out on either system. It's pretty awesome. One of the games that I got, and if you watch my Kijiji deal video a little while back, this was one of the ones that came in, that one where the guy kind of ripped me off. This is one of them. This one here is actually sealed, so I haven't even opened Choo Choo Rocket yet. A game I also picked up back in the day, and I actually had the steering wheel that went along with this as well, was Crazy Taxi. I remember this being in the arcades, and I was just blown away by the fact that you could play it at home. So I picked this one up, and I played this one a ton, and this is actually my original Crazy Taxi game, in really good condition actually. One that I picked up recently as well was Crazy Taxi 2. I haven't spent a lot of time on this one necessarily because I didn't really have it back in the day, but pretty cool nonetheless. If it's as good as Crazy Taxi 1, then pretty awesome. Another one that I decided to pick up off of eBay was Frogger 2, just because I like these retro remake kind of games, and I liked the one on PlayStation 1, so I figured this would be even better. A game that I found in a Value Village in my area, which just blew me away, that they actually had this sitting amongst the CDs and that nobody had picked it up, because the area that I do a lot of my thrifting in, there's like 4 or 5, or not 4 or 5, it's like 3 or 4 different Goodwill, thrift shop, that kind of thing in that area, so people hit it up pretty hard, and I'm just surprised to find such a quality title. And I bought this really cheaply. I think it was only a few dollars. Really wicked, and it's totally complete. It was in one of my previous videos, even before the retro dungeon was finished down here. Another game, MDK2. Don't know a whole lot about this one, but like the other ones, it is complete, which is wicked. Looking forward to check it out. A game that I bought back in the day, and I'm sure has no value now, Sega Sports NHL 2K. So pretty cool though, nonetheless. I like hockey games, so not a big deal, but not a really valuable game. A game I know nothing about, Ooga Booga. Looks kind of interesting anyways. Copy of Rayman 2. Pretty awesome. Game I really liked back in the day, and I know it doesn't hold its value now, but Ready to Rumble Boxing. I liked this on PS1 because that's the system that I had, and I played this on it, so I'm just assuming this has better graphics and whatnot, but really fun game. Resident Evil Code Veronica. Pretty awesome find right there as well. What came originally with the system was the Sega Dreamcast generator. This one here has Ready to Rumble Boxing on it, Power Stone, Monaco Grand Prix, House of the Dead 2, Sonic Adventure, Sega Bass Fishing, Champ Car Racing, Flag to Flag, and more. So it's just the, you know, demo disc or whatever. And I just took it and put it into this kind of case or whatever. It just had normally a sleeve. You can still see like the from back in the day on the back of it. Who cares? Sega Dreamcast web browser. I think it's completely useless at this point. A find I got from a flea market is Sega Smash Pack Volume 1. Really cool. Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Shining Force, Wrestle War, Streets of Rage 2, Columns, Virtual Cop 2, Phantasy Star 2, Vector Man, Altered Beast, Revenge of Shinobi, and Sega Swirl. So get all those Genesis type games right on one disc. That's really wicked. An awesome game, obviously a very coveted Dreamcast game. I'm just happy to have it in my very small collection here, is Shenmue. And then the last game that I have in my collection, and this was one that I bought back in the day. I think I bought this because it was on sale. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I played it a little bit, just didn't really get into it too much. I think I got stuck or something in it when I was a kid, and I just didn't really have the time to fiddle around with it. But Silver. I actually have a couple copies of this. I have a loose copy of this as well because I think it came in a system that I had bought online. Luckily, interestingly enough, half of those games did come from my dad's original collection, and his basement flooded, and the Dreamcast was actually thrown out because it was basically covered in like backup water type thing. So with like the controllers and whatever VMUs and stuff that he had there, but luckily the games are up high and I managed just to grab those up. So really pleased that it worked out that way. Otherwise, half of that stuff wouldn't even be here today. So that was everything from my Sega Dreamcast collection. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, not a whole ton of things there, but like I said, this is to document, you know, my collection as it is, and that's how it is right now. So hope you enjoyed that. A lot of quality titles, I think, in there, and I hope you, you know, did get a kick out of that. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.